Last week we talked on truth being relative. There is a truth that can be relative. I gave an example last week. I want to give another one this week. One woman can be talking on the phone to another woman, and she can sit there and say, "Man, aren't the stars beautiful tonight?" And the other one says, "No, man, the sun is extremely hot." And you go, well, how can they both be saying the same thing? Well, if one happens to be in New York City and one in Sydney, Australia, how many know they can be saying the same thing as they're talking on the phone? So in some ways, because of time zones, truth can be relative. But people, this is what we talked on last week, and I'm not going to go down that path again. I encourage you to look at the message from last week. Moral truth cannot be subjective to other people's opinions. Okay, moral truth cannot be subjective to other people's opinions. As a society in America, we're pretty well, as hopefully a majority, hopefully everybody, is appalled by the atrocities of terrorist groups that kill innocent women and children trying to advance their cause, doing something like that. We want to adhere to some kind of universal. That's wrong, right? We can sit there and say, but you know what? In some societies, it's not wrong. How many realize that? And so there we have two different moral truths. Can you just murder these people, or is it wrong to just murder these people? In the Nuremberg trials were the trials of the Nazi leaders, and one of their defenses in the trials, the Nazis literally said, "How dare your society judge our society and how we ran our society? Is it right for one society to be able to judge another society? Don't we have the same right to choose our own side of morality?" Okay? That can be the problem, people, when there's not a universal morality. Every society can decide what's right for them and what's wrong for them. So what we're looking for here is some framework, some point of reference, that there is a standard. And if each of us try to do that ourselves, we can be all over the place. I'll come back to that in a moment. We mentioned this last week. Jesus is the embodiment of truth. He didn't tell us the truth. He didn't walk around with a philosophy. He was truth. Not due to a moral vote. We talked about that last week, how Pilate thought Jesus was innocent. But when the crowd started cheering, he changed his opinion according to what the crowd was doing. So truth cannot be opinionated. It's not by a majority. It is the person of Jesus Christ. Truth cannot be subjectively created. Subjectively just means you decide what's right, I decide what's right. Jesus said this in John 1:17, "The law was given through Moses, grace and truth came through Jesus Christ." We mentioned this. This is a huge philosophy today. What's right for you is right for you, but what's right for me is right for me. Okay? So many live by that. The problem is, through my years of ministry, I bumped into people that feel what's right for me is to get out of this marriage, leave my kids, quit my job, and take off to the mountains and just be a mountain man. Because that's who I am, what's right for me. How many know, people, that no matter what we choose, no, I've never run into someone saying they're a mountain man. I'm trying to be generic here. I've seen that situation play out many times. What I'm trying to share here is, people, when we all live by our other truth, we don't live in vacuums. They have consequences for those around us. Okay? And so when everybody decides what's right for them is right for them, there are consequences that come upon other people. And so that's why truth can't just be subjective. And it can't change from person to person. It can't change from person to person or from community to community. Because Jesus is truth, because Jesus is the incarnation of God, God literally says, I don't change. I don't change. What was wrong 2,000 years ago is still wrong today. What was right 2,000 years ago is still right today. God does not change. Hebrews says that. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. I do not change. So truth cannot change. It has to stay equal. And then the third one being, all truth claims cannot be equal. Jesus did not say, I am a way. He said, I am the way. So many people, well, there's just different paths to heaven, and I've shared this with you so many times. People, their heavens aren't even the same. Their eternities aren't even the same. Jesus said, I will give you life because I am the truth, the way, and the life.